Well, good evening, everyone. Hey, it's Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates. Thanks so much for joining me. Sorry, I'm running a tad late today. Had some friends over and we worked on our paper pumpkin kit from February. What was it called? Safari Celebration. And here are the cards based on the instructions in the kit. So, I then came up with some alternatives and I wanted to share them with you. So let's go ahead and get started on those. Now what's fun is all of the pieces and parts are in the kit along with some great instructions. And let me show you these envelopes. I love the envelopes they've been providing. Just love these envelopes. So, yeah, just had to share those too. But what I decided to do, these are the card bases, and I cut mine down. So to 5 1/4 by 4. So I got 2 additional pieces to make multiple cards. So let me show you then the cards that I made. So here we go with the soft succulent, fresh freesia, and the bumblebee backgrounds. All right, so let's start with the one here. This is the soft succulent card base that I cut down, and here we go. Here are the parts then that go with this card. First of all, I wanted to go with a little bit darker card base, so I'm going with the Evening Evergreen. And this is then my top folding that I love to do, 11 by 4 1/4. Inside, I just have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock, and just the stamps I'm using are from the paper pumpkin kit because they always have a stamp set. Excuse me. Here is that base that was a card base that I've cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. I have a circle that I cut out, and I don't know, it's like 2 1/4, somewhere in between. And this is out of the Neutrals paper pack. So then the rest, well, minus the bow, is part of some of the elements that are inside the kit. All of the botanicals here, love these leaves and the sprig, and then the sentiment strip that was already done up. I just stamped the happy birthday on it. Inside the kit was a stamp and spot of Rich Razzleberry. Now, I didn't stay with just using that ink pad. I used some others, but that one I happened to do. So, all right, let's get started building this card. This is quite simple. It's just a matter of building some of the pieces that are, like I said, already contained in this kit. All right, so here we go. Now, you wouldn't have to cut up the card base to make these cards, but if you're in need of some additional cards, like I usually am, especially birthday cards, and I thought this one was nice. It gave me kind of a masculine vibe on it. So here we go. So I'm working sort of in thirds. I look at the card in thirds. So I like going down a little bit more to the bottom of it. All right, so let me get my sentiment on. Hold on to your hats, but nothing has popped up here. I have everything glued straight down on this. So let me get my sentiment down. That looks pretty good right there. And now I'm just going to start building with the leaf elements then. So just a couple dabs of glue. This is what takes the longest, is gluing these parts down. So here is, that looks like the raspberry color of a leaf. This one I believe is more of like the fresh freesia. You know, I would not normally pick purple. So, so let's go ahead and pop Whoops, I don't want it to be. Sometimes I'll just snip off the stem, so to speak, of the leaf if I don't want it. So there is that. And now this little sprig, not much is needed as far as glue goes. So just some little light taps of adhesive there. And let me adhere it down about right here. There's really no rhyme or reason for any of that. Let me find my glue dots and get the bow. This happens to be the Evening Evergreen open weave ribbon is what it's called. I just wanted to get another bit of the evergreen color in there. Since I have it as the card base, I just thought it'd be nice to have it as somewhere within the body, so to speak, of the card. So let me go ahead. I don't like the stem here of this sprig. I don't have a good way of hiding it, so instead of trying to hide it, there, I'm going to cut it off instead. So now I can pop my bow in there, and now I can hide it. Cut the tails as you want. These are the embellishments that were included in the kit. The other thing I like with these is you can color them using your Stampin' Blends. They're sort of like little pebbles, all different shapes. I went with a dark marker, the Stampin' Blend in the Evening Evergreen for this particular card in the dark. And I like to use the brush end, and I'm just going to come through and I just color it. I'll be honest with you, I give it 2 coats, sometimes 3. So let me just go ahead and I'll let that just give a moment to dry, and then I will go ahead and give it another coat of that dark green. I did these ahead of time, just wanted to give them a chance to be sure that they were dry. And now let's get them on the card, and then we'll call this one done. So I like to go in 3s with my embellishments. Oops. So let's see, let me pop those 2 there, and I don't know, kind of thinking of like a triangle. I don't like it there. Let's come right here. Okay, here we go. Card number 1 is done. All right. So let's look at the next one. And the next one I have is the Fresh Freesia, that darn purple that I am just not a fan of purple. So anyways, we will do with it what we can. I have, again, the card base is the Fresh Freesia, top folding, 11 by 4 1/4. All right. Since I need a lot of birthday cards coming up, that's what all of these are, with my inside stamped, and then added that little bit of sprinkles, I guess, on that one. Here is that 4 by 5 1/4 piece that I cut out from the card base. So see, I was able to get 2 cards then for the price of 1. So let me not put this on just yet. I want to build it first and then put it on my card base at the last moment, because I am going to be putting ribbon around it. So we'll start off first with, I like to kind of lay out my leaves here first, just to kind of make sure I have them where I want them. I'll just sort of set them there, and then I know, there we go. I like it. So I will go ahead now and get to it. So it's just a matter of gluing them down now. All the hard work is done. All right. So here we go. There's one. And So let me know if you received this paper pumpkin kit, and if you think you might be trying out some of these alternatives. If you made it the way it was directed or according to the directions, that's great too. So yeah, let me know. I know in the next couple days we'll be receiving the March kit, so I am running a little late on this. I am trying very hard to make this a regular thing of coming up with the alternatives then, so that yeah, it gives you something else then to do with some of your parts, the parts of your card. All right, so I'm liking that. What I'm going to do before I do anything else is wrap some ribbon around it here. Okay, so I want, yep, that works for me. We'll just sort of wrap it around the back, and you can use Scotch tape. You could put some tape runner here and adhere it. I go with the tape. Mine happens to be double-sided tape, and that way I will have it adhered straight down to the card base now and not have an issue with it. So, all right, let's go ahead. Now we can get this put down to our card base. We have another bit of ribbon to put on, and I will show you that in just a moment. Okay, so here we go. Now, I see this in the catalog a lot, this sort of zigzaggy ribbon treatment, and I'm really bad at it, I'll be honest with you. So there's a couple ways to do it. I just think of it as, this is about 12 inches of ribbon, just to let you know. And I just fold it in thirds. Whether they're equal or not, I mean, that part doesn't matter because we can always adjust. And there we go. Just sort of lay it one on top of the other, like I said, just kind of back and forth. If it's too wide this way, which I think this one is a little bit, well, just, you know, you can adjust it now. So let's just make it a little bit smaller. Can always cut these tails. I'm not worried about the fact that they're uneven. And I do like that better. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to, again, I prefer using either tape or tape runner here as opposed to the liquid glue to help hold this down. So let me go ahead. Try and make this as even as I can. Some people can build it on the back here. I'm not that good at this. I don't know why. I just have issues with this zigzag treatment here with the ribbon. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm equal here. So I'm going to go ahead and put another piece of tape just to make sure I have that held down. Take another quick look. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Like I said, I will cut the tails here. Actually, let me go ahead and do that right now. Might be a little bit easier before I actually adhere it to the card. All right. Now, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. I have a tiny bit of bulk underneath that. It's not a lot. This ribbon is really thin, so you're not going to get a lot of bulk with it. But I also want to make sure then that I put some dimensionals over to help hold that ribbon in place. Yes, I have the Scotch tape there. And because it's double-sided, I want to make sure to put my dimensionals over it. That way it doesn't get smushed down, and because this is sticky, this side of the tape, it's not going to get stuck onto my card. I have the dimensionals to help hold it up. Now, because I am the queen of dimensions, I like to make sure that I have plenty of them on there. All right, let's get this down now. Yes, you counted right, folks. I have 6 dimensionals on this little piece here. I think I forgot to tell you what this is from, these dies. Let me get this down and I will tell you. So this is actually part of the bundle here, the Hello Beautiful bundle. I just used these hexagon dies here out of that bundle and just got myself. Now you'll notice the happy birthday. I forgot to mention it in the first card too. In the paper pumpkin kit, it is one long phrase. I cut it. Yes, I cut my stamps. I cut it in half between the 2 words, and now I'm able to build it one on top of the other. So that's why it looks different here than what it does in the kit. So, all right, embellishment time. This time I'm going to use the pebbles here that I colored using the dark, rich raspberry blend. So let's get a couple of these on. And there we go. Card number 2 is complete. That one was pretty easy too, right? Maybe the ribbon, sometimes ribbon can get people, but you know, do however you want. If you don't want to put this little zigzaggy thing on the back of this element, you don't have to. So just go with the one that goes straight across. So, all right, now my next one. Now, as you saw, there were the 3 different animals as part of the this kit. So these are the 3 animal shapes that were in there. I loved the elephant, so I knew I wanted to do a couple extra different cards using that elephant. So that's where this one came in. So let's go ahead. Let me show you the parts you need here. So I have a card base that is Bumblebee. This time it is at 5.5 by 8.5. This halfway point now is 4 1/4. And again, my 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white stamped with the happy birthday. And I love that little cupcake. I just think that's adorable. So I have this part that is 5 1/4 by 4. That is the card base from the kit. I have this sentiment strip that I stamped in the soft succulent that says, "Let's celebrate." I have my 3 elements here, 2 fronds, 1 sprig. Mr. Elephant here on his roller skates. I love it. And one of the vellum circles shapes that was part of the kit. So, as we all know, vellum is a tough one because you can see through it, and you can see through with the adhesive. So let's make sure that we hide it. All right, so first up, oops, sorry, I'm knocking all my camera stuff around, so I apologize for that. Let's get this down to the base, the card base. This little splatter image here, I did stamp using the rich raspberry. So just for a little something in the corner there. Just felt like it needed something up there. Now, as far as the circle goes, I did just cut off some of it. There's no real measurement for that. I just kind of placed it. I want it to be here. I want my elephant to skate like here. And then I kind of figured out where my elephant was going to be, and that's where I put the adhesive. All right. It's not adhered down yet, the elephant that is. So I'm going to just put some adhesive and now put down my circle. Okay. So there we go. Yes, you can see the little zigzaggy lines here from the glue, but that's where my attempt to cover it up with the elephant is going to happen. So, all right, but before I do that, a couple things I have to do is the sentiment. So I found that it to be just a tad long. So you see I did stamp over to the right. So I am going to just trim a little bit of it off just so I don't have any of that sticking out when I put my elephant down. So I am going to go ahead and adhere that down. Sometimes I'll bring my element back since this is kind of building it here, and make sure that I still have enough space. I'm not too far one way or the other with that. So let me just straighten this out a bit. And there's my sentiment strip. And like all of the other ones, let's go ahead and add our other elements here. Just with some glue. I'm just putting little dots of it. And here we go. So to help hold down the vellum circle, I am going to go off of it with this leaf just to help hold it down. Now I'm going to come around with this one, a couple dots here, and let's put it about right here. So it's going to help to hold down this end of the circle. So I feel like now my circle is down pretty good. And let me now also, oops, get a little bit of adhesive on this sprig. It is so tiny. Don't need much. And just pop it down here too. Now I am going to get this guy skating on by. Okay, so I have a bajillion dimensionals on the back. I even pulled in a couple of the mini dimensionals to help hold up his trunk, or hers. So here we go. Now awesome. Oh, he's so cute. I just love that little guy. Now, guess what? We're done, except for the embellishments, rather. And I have those right here. And this time I used a dark, soft succulent blend on this round. So let's go ahead and get a couple of these down. I'm going to put some here, one up here. See, there's no rhyme or reason. I just like to go in threes, usually. So, I know, I always break that rule, I think every time. I say it one time and then the next card, well, I'm only going to put two. But this time we did three. So, and there we go. Third card now for using the elephant. So, let me bring the rest of them back in. All of my fun birthday cards, all using parts from, I hate to say it, the February paper pumpkin. But now I'm done. I've used it up. There's a first time for everything here. So I have it all used up. I was able to get out the cards. I actually have additional. So, here is one. These are the ones then that were part of the instructions. So these were the kit cards then. So let me bring them back in. Sorry, didn't realize I was so far out of screen. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you give these a try. Thanks so much for hanging with me tonight, and I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye now.